guys, Nuie here. I'm back again with the other one of my builds that I've been working on. Which is my third build on the league, and my second build that I worked on this week so far. So this is going to be. I wanted to use ancestral call. So and I also wanted to use glacial hammer. So I ended up making a glacial hammer raider. Once again, I am going to be using the Raider nose. I'm running the exact same Raider setup as I did for my Wander, but with the exact same thing. So I'll have phasing, and I'll have Avatar the Veil for increase, and then I'll have frenzy charges. It's the exact same thing as far as that's concerned, and then here's where the build gets a little bit different. So starting out, we're grabbing Primal Spirit, Heart of the Oak, and then we're grabbing a whole bunch of life. So your damage is going to be kind of low early, and then it's going to have to start to ramp up as you start to grab like Flash Freeze and Primeval Force. I'm also including quite a bit more jewel sockets than I included in my last build. However, the life is still a little bit low, only 174% increased life. However, that should be fine. Considering you're getting a good amount of strength from the tree, as well as a lot of evasion. You're also going to be having decoy totem, so you shouldn't be really having an issue. Well, not decoy totem, ancestral protector. So you shouldn't have too much of an issue, as well as a bunch of leech. So you should be fine as far as everything is concerned with that. But yeah, I'm grabbing Revenge of the Haunted up here for the increased physical damage, as well as maximum life. I'm also grabbing Forces of Nature and Survivalist for extra res and such like that, and then I'm also grabbing a lot of frenzy nodes, onslaught, leech, frenzy, or cloth and chain, stuff like that. So I head through all of the tree, and then I finish the tree over here with mace damage. So the idea of this build was to make use of Ancestral Call and also make use of these two jewel stones, which are Winter Burial Crimson Jewels. So what this does is gives you increased physical damage, or increased cold damage, and then release 40 strength in radius. Glacial Hammer deals cold only splash damage to surrounding targets. In other words, it works like a melee splash with only cold damage. So instead of having to sock it in melee splash, you just sock it in one of these jewels, and then and it has to be in range of 40 strength, and then you'll be able to do the melee splash basic damage of cold splash. So having two of these converts 25% of Glacial Hammer's physical damage over to cold damage. So having two of them gives you the nice 50%, and then combining that with the already base conversion of Glacial Hammer, you have 100% cold damage. So you don't need to run Himsorrows, you don't need to run Winter Spirit, because you already have the damage conversion built in that way. However, these two jewels do need to be in these two places specifically in my build, because these are the jewels that I'm able to grab the extra 40 strength in range. So this is where you want to place them, here and here respectively. And then you also have an open jewel socket here for whatever you want, particularly just elemental damage. And then I'll also be running a Stitch Device on this build as well, so you have another jewel socket there for whatever you want to. So but yeah, you want to head through. I do grab Valpact in this build. This is my build to test out the new Valpact and see how the leech works. Grabbing all the life leech from here. You don't particularly need a lot of mana regen with this build, because Glacial Hammer itself is, just a basic melee attack. It's not a huge mana drain or anything like that. I am grabbing Fangs of Frost here. I'm grabbing Graceful Assault, Cloth and Chain. I'm grabbing Executioner as well as Wrecking Ball, and then I'm just finishing off Mace Tree with Skull Cracking and stuff like that. And Bone Breaker, I'm also grabbing Butchery. And then I have plenty of res from here, and then I'm grabbing just the rest is just life. So that's how the tree plays out, and that's how everything works is involved with it. I am grabbing Primeval Force, but I'm grabbing the top side instead of the bottom side. I don't really care about the extra freeze and shock chance. You freeze pretty well with this build anyways, and it's not really important. And as I said before, I'm grabbing Avatar of Slaughter as well as Avatar of Veil, and then with Poacher and Quartz Infusion, so I have extra frenzy charges on kill, frenzy charges on hitting rares, extra attack damage and movement speed with frenzy charges, as well as extra phasing while I have frenzy charges and on kill. So I should be good as far as dodging and avoiding damage. So the 174% life, which is lower than I would have liked, but you know, it's still decent amount of hit pool, should be alright, especially since I have the extra double leech from Valpact as well as the leech nodes here. So that's how the tree spans out. Now heading into the skills. Oh, last thing, bandit. Bandit I'll be running is the Creighton Bandit. So you get the increased attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed instead of running like typically I'll run a Lyra, so I get the extra reses. But I chose not to in this build. So heading into my skills, you'll be losing Glacial Hammer as our main attack, which I'll socket to my weapon since it's the easiest to sockets. You'll be doing Glacial Hammer, elemental damage with attacks, elemental focus, melee damage, ruthless, and then swapping out for bosses and swapping out between bosses and stuff. You'll do ancestral call and multi-strike. You'll swap between those for your boss killing and AoE killing, etc. I'm running Leap Slam. Faster attacks, and Fortify. I have an open socket on my gloves. I'm running Hatred. As far as my helmet, I'll be running Hatred, Frostbite, and Herald of Ice. How this is going to work is based off a unique. At least my understanding of the unique. If it doesn't work like that, I will probably take off Herald of Ice, since it's a little bit ambiguous. But if it does work, then I should be able to run Herald of Ice, Hatred, and Frostbite. And then I'm running, on my boots, I'll be running Cast 1 Damage, Taken, Immortal Call, Ice Rage, and like once again, Ice Nova. But Ice Nova in this case, once again, is just there to look pretty. It doesn't actually have a huge point in this build, but it's nice to have as far as, you know, the aesthetics of the icy build that I'm setting up. Once again, all of these levels are correct. So level 1, Cast 1 Damage Taken, level 3, Immortal Call, level 7, Blood Rage, and level 8, Ice Nova. And that's when you'll want to turn off the leveling of those gems. And then you'll be running an Ancestral Protector. I have Chance to Bleed, Melee Physical Damage, Ruthless, Elemental Damage with attacks, and faster attacks. I'm not fully certain of this setup, however, it's really not important. Ancestral Protector is mostly just for our stat boost, as well, or the attack speed boost. So it's there for utility, not so much for the damage it's doing. And then last but not least, I'm running just a Lightning Golem, you know, just for increased attack speed. So how I am running this build and how I'm going to be using Herald of Ice as well is the uniques in my build will be Alpha's Howl, Center Tricorn. I'm usually using this because I wanted the reduced reserve mana, as well as the +2 socketed gems and stuff like that. So I'm running Alpha. I also don't want to be frozen in this build, so that's important to me as far as that. And then I'm just running Armor Evasion, basic boots. Now I'm running a Kikazaru's, but it's not actually necessary. I just have one, and it's a nice stat stick, as well as extra life regen and reduced effective curses, as well as extra mana regen. So I just chose to have it because I needed lightning res anyways in my build, so this is a nice lightning res ring. And then the other ring I'm probably running is like a 2-stone rings for extra fire and lightning res. I won't be running a rustic belt slash, but as I said before in my recent video, there's no Stygian Vice in PoE, and mine is fully updated, so I know that there's no Stygian Vice, so it's just there as a rustic sash. Eventually, I would like to get a Taste of Hate and a Wise Oak, but those are pretty expensive, especially a Taste of Hate. Wise Oak is only a couple chaos, but it's a nice build. It's nice for this build. And then the 2 gems you really need are Winter Burial. You need 2 Winter Burial gems to be able to give yourself that conversion. But the thing that was really weird about this build, one, this is not the actual Impresence I'm going to be using. The Impresence I will be using is the cold version of the Impresence, which gives me 100% reduced mana reservation on Frostbite. So that's how I should be able to run Herald of Ice, Frostbite, as well as Hatred all together because of this Impresence. Now this is costing you, this is probably the most expensive item in my build. I looked on PoE Trade, it's going for between like 25 and 15, 10 chaos, so that's probably the most expensive item in this build. I was also playing around with using Hymnor's Dirge, so it gave me 50% of physical damage converted as extra cold damage. However, a basic physical two-handed mace at endgame level apparently gave me more damage, so that's what I have set up right now, but I'll test both of those out and show you guys my results. But yeah, this is how my tree is all planned out, as far as everything running with my build will be. I'm very well happy with this build. I have a nice amount of jewel sockets, a nice amount of evasion, a nice amount of life, and some good damage. Actually, I'm only showing you my damage. So for Glacial Hammer, this is with all of my frenzy charges up, onslaught, frostbite, and all that stuff. This is what the damage look like. It's really nice as far as everything. It's fully converted over to melee. Yeah, this is what my damage will look like overall, so you guys can see all my numbers for that. So this is everything involved with the build, and I'll be playing through it. And once again, as soon as I reach end game with this build, I'll have another video guide up for you guys to be able to see everything that I've done, see my tree in game, see my skills, see my items in game. So this is going to be my Frosty Ranger Raider, which is once again focused on Glacial Hammer. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave any thoughts or comments. Leave any skills you'd like to see, because I'm just definitely playing around with builds. I know my next build will probably be another castle channeling build. I have fun with castle channeling builds, so I'm not really sure which one yet, but I'm gonna have to look at some channeling skills and see what I'm gonna go with. So that's what my next build will be focused on, but for now, these are the builds I'm going to be leveling, and when I reach all of these till max level, I'll show you guys what I'm working with. So, catch you all later, hope you enjoyed. Nuie out.